Hello, everybody. This is Ali Spooner, and I wanted to take a few minutes of your time today and introduce my new book that's coming out on June 1st called Dangerous Ice. It is the sequel to the first book in the series, which is The Blank White Page. And if you haven't read that, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the two main characters for that book. It's set in Southeast um, Alaska, and the two main characters are Tatum, who is a businesswoman from Chicago, uh, becoming disillusioned with life in Chicago and the business world, and just not a happy person. She can't keep a stable relationship, and she just is looking for something different. And her dad is the lead of their realtor empire. And he challenges Tatum and her brother to a challenge of surviving in the bush in Alaska. And I think Charlie went to somewhere in Canada to test their resilience and their creativity and being able to survive on their own, to judge who would be the person that took over the business. Well, kind of backfired on Dad Charlie or Charles because Tatum got there and just flourished living in the bush and just fell in love with the people, the place, the lifestyle, and it really gave her an opportunity to start her blank white page, to start the next chapter in her life. She falls in love not only with the people, but with River, who is a subsistence hunter for her Athabascan village. And when I think of River, I think of a Athabascan Amazon, just a tall, strong, independent woman who really puts the needs of her community on her shoulders. In that area, a lot of the men in the village go and do commercial fishing to get financial support for the families throughout the year. So that leaves the hunting and trapping season open for somebody else to take over because they're out making money for the families. So River takes on that responsibility and she hunts for the meat and the furs and other necessities that the village needs to survive on. So when they first meet, River teaches a lot of those skills to Tatum to help her thrive and survive in the wild. You know, how to harvest and process not only wildlife, but berries and foraging for different types of food type things. So those are our two main characters, but all of the characters are not human. There are two other characters, Poe, which is a beautiful black raven who shows up to Tatum not long after she arrives in Alaska and kind of serves as her kind of a two-legged alarm system for her. He lets her know when somebody's in the area that shouldn't be there, whether it's the animal or human. And there's also Brother Bear. Brother Bear is the protector of the berry patch, and he gratefully shares his produce with Tatum, and she teaches not only River, but River's mother, Nikita, and her godchild, Reba, how to make a variety of different jellies and preserves from the berries that they pick. So it's a lot of adventure, very, uh, I would say a light romance, not real spicy, not real angsty, but just an adventurous type novel. And book two, Dangerous Ice, which comes out, it's on pre-sale now. It comes out on June 1st worldwide. Book two continues their adventures and the love and the relationship that both River and Tatum are enjoying and continuing to grow. It's got a large cast of characters with the different people in the village. Reba and Nikita are both there. Sonia, Reba's mother. Charles plays a little bit more prominent role in book two. And uh, it's very adventurous. There was a tragedy that occurred in the village at the very beginning of the book that basically served as a wake-up call for River and Tatum that they need to move on with their dreams because life can change in an instant. And so River is convinced begrudgingly to visit Chicago to see where Tatum's life was in the past. So she knows a little bit more about the woman that she's fallen in love with. And she experiences her first airplane ride and a trip to the lower 48 and a huge city in Chicago. And it makes them both realize that, hey, this is no longer the life that Tatum wants, and River, understands that the excitement and the big city atmosphere just isn't for either one of them anymore. So they really enjoy and look forward to getting back into the bush. So it's challenging to that extent. It's a little bit more angsty than the first book. The intimacy is still there. They take on some of their dreams that they want to create a second cabin that's closer to River and Tatum's cabin. So that would enable her to set up a second trap line closer to home, so she wouldn't be gone for weeks at a time away from Tatum. So basically, both books are set around their cabins and the Athabascan village, which is a totally fictional village. The little town of Glen Allen is actually a town, and I've taken some creative license into creating the depot and the bed and breakfast that Troy and his mother run, and different things like that. But it is actually a town in Southeast Alaska. So I hope you will take an opportunity to read both books. I think they're both standalones. You don't have to read both of them, but I think you would get more of the full effect if you did read both. And they're like typical Alice Spooner characters. You probably haven't seen the last of these guys because I really enjoy writing about the area. Had the opportunity to visit Alaska very, very, very briefly on a cruise years ago. And it's a place that's definitely on my bucket list. I want to go and see more because there's just so much to see there, so much to do. And I love the outdoors, and it's very inspiring to see how people survive in those kind of conditions where you've got, below zero temperatures for months at a time in some areas. I really enjoy watching the TV series where it shows where they're living off grid and learning to survive, not only the indigenous peoples, but people that have moved away from the lower 48 to get back into that kind of a lifestyle. So it's something I've enjoyed, and I hope to continue to create. We will have a podcast on the 6th of next month, right after the release of the book, to um, hear a reading and give you a little bit more about the background on the book. And that's, of course, going to drill me with a bunch of questions. So hopefully I'll be prepared for those. But I hope you will enjoy the books, and happy reading, everybody, and have a great summer.